Hi, my name is Kess Eruteya. Now that I've introduced myself, I would like to ask for a favour. I want everyone to close their eyes for a moment and think of their earliest childhood memory. How old were you in this memory? What were you doing? And how did that moment shape who you are today? Okay, you can open your eyes now. Most of the time when I ask this question, people recall a moment between 3 and 8 years old. So I'm willing to bet yours is in the same time frame too. When questioned about your earliest childhood memory, some of you may have thought of a happy interaction with a parent, grandparent, or another relative. On the other hand, some of you may have thought of a traumatic experience. No matter what came to mind during that exercise, it's likely that your childhood interactions influence you as an adult today. One of my earliest memories was using BlackBerry Messenger, also known as BBM, to talk to my friends. The group chat feature was a highlight of my youth. Every day after school, I'd rush home to see what was new in the group chat and use the ping feature to annoy my friends. At the age of 8, I learned how to navigate a phone. At 14, I figured out I can connect with anyone around the world using the internet. Meanwhile, my parents didn't have access to a mobile device until they were young adults. At the age of 8, to them, a BlackBerry was just a piece of fruit. Using social media and mobile devices has always been a way of life for me. I can't imagine a world without the internet. Meanwhile, my parents talk about a time where things were a lot simpler. I don't think they understand my perspective. I recognize this as a generational difference, because they're Generation X and I'm Generation Z. Meaning I'm between the ages of 9 and 24 and they're between the ages of 41 and 56. Now, I won't tell you how old my parents are because my mum likes their age to remain a mystery. But I will tell you this, as a Gen Zer, my worldview has always been shaped by having access to anything I want, enabling me to solve problems fast and achieve great results. At the age of 19, I started my own company called InclusionZ. We are a community-driven e-learning platform bridging the gap between corporations and the future of work. InclusionZ is currently being used in over 19 countries and is driving social impact. Every day, I get to connect with a wide range of young professionals and students. Doing so has helped me expand my perspective of life and do my part in changing the world. Having access to the internet at such a young age positioned me to achieve more business success at 19 than most people from previous generations. Throughout history, there has always been a few leaders in each generation to shift culture and change the world. Whether it was Martin Luther King, a civil rights activist who helped lay the foundation for racial equality, or Steve Jobs, who led a digital revolution, or Hedy Lamarr, who invented the technology that makes Wi-Fi. They all had one thing in common. They were willing to step out the social norm and take action. My generation does not remember a time before the internet or smartphones. Research shows we often trust social media influencers more than traditional experts or the news. Generation Z has only known a time where with a click of a button, almost anything we want can be delivered to our doorstep in less than an hour. We are digital natives who have been using mobile devices all our lives. While Gen Z is surrounded by misconceptions of being self-obsessed, entitled, and overly emotional, I believe we are more connected than any other generation, which makes us unified. A famous African proverb says, "If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together." Well, I say Generation Z has learned to go fast and far together. When something happens around the world, we immediately find out since we're always connected on social media. So whether something happens in our community or another country, we feel compelled to take action. We believe we have the ability and responsibility to make the world a better place. In fact, 62% of Generation Z believe our generation will drive positive impact to the world. This generation brings a needed voice for various issues, and we're willing to express our opinions, unlike previous generations who were taught to remain silent. Generation Z is on track to be the most educated generation yet. All the information we want is literally at our fingertips. In our generation, there are not just a few people who want to make impact, but a majority. In 2019, we outnumbered millennials and made 32% of the world's population. So let's put that into context, with 62% of us wanting to drive positive impact. Just imagine the world in 20 years for the children who were just born, with so many trailblazers in our society. Just listen to some of these quotes from fellow Gen Zers. "Whenever I'm bored, I can always find something to do on my phone. My goal is to travel and start an organization to help people. When I turn 14, I want to get a job to support my business on eBay and help it scale." Can you imagine a 13-year-old running a successful business on eBay? Some may say he's too young to start a business. Well, I say he's just the right age, because he's getting results and you can't argue with results. During the early period of starting InclusionZ, a corporate client saw my age as a weakness. A senior member of staff said it would be best fit for someone older to lead the project. However, as the project progressed, it was clear that age does not determine results. Companies should understand that youth is one of our strengths. The secret ingredient to our success is really our drive for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Generation Z is the most diverse generation in history. We represent the growing ethnic and racial diversity of the world, with 48% of us identifying as non-white. It's not only crucial to understand those younger, but to understand a generation more inclusive. InclusionZ conducted a worldwide study around Gen Z attributes, which revealed 63% of Gen Z believe in sharing and exploring new ideas and experiences that promote diversity. But why is diversity so important? It will inspire creativity and drive innovation, promote effective target marketing to increase sales, engage the best talent by drawing from a culturally diverse talent pool, encourage a broader and more adaptable selection of goods and services, and increase productivity, creating a greater opportunity for personal and professional growth. Now that you've heard all of that, what words come to mind when you think of Generation Z? For me, it's the impact leaders of tomorrow. Just think about all the problems the world is currently facing. Generation Z has solutions, and we are not afraid to step out the social norm and take action. We are shaping a world where your children and grandchildren will learn to thrive in the power of technology, innovation, diversity, equality, community, and the desire to make the world a better place. We are the impact leaders of tomorrow.